Good evening, everyone. A top gang member had bragged that he would never go to jail because no one would testify against him. But that was before he was targeted in a 4-month investigation that started with the murder of a 14-year-old South Fairmount teenager.
The bust in that murder led to more arrests that continued today. Local 12's Deb Dixon was with police as the SWAT team moved through the West End. Deb.
Rob and Cammie, Cincinnati's initiative to reduce violence has always had a message to gangs. When a body falls, when there's a murder, and it's linked to your gang, we will hunt you down, and that's exactly what happened. Cincinnati SWAT moved in and brought alleged gang members out of West End homes, and whatever tools of the trade were found inside, such as this Glock with something SWAT team members don't see very often.
Have you ever seen The Matrix?
Yeah.
They're essentially this firearm in The Matrix they're using for the movie screenplay, and they've got these enormous magazines hanging out of the bottom of them.
Alleged members of a violent gang that police say was a lot about guns, to shoot, rob, deal drugs, and to murder. The West End gang was targeted after the murder of 14-year-old Dwayne Lewis in South Fairmount last October. Julius White, considered one of the network's top thugs, is charged in the killing. It took 4 more months to take out the rest of the gang's first string on gun and drug charges, including Shamsudin Pickens.
He qualifies right up there with one of the most violent offenders that we've experienced.
Listen to how Pickens described himself after an earlier arrest in Sharonville for domestic violence.
I don't go to jail for nothing. You hear me? I'm a real live gangster. Ask about me. Real live one. Live wire. Don't go to jail, none of that.
That was before this investigation that sent him to jail on a 9-count drug indictment and a $1 million bond. In the video, he talks about touching people, a street term for having people killed.
When he talked about he's had people touched, he's not talking about patting them on the head.
UC is one of the CIRV partners. That's where the science comes in, the data that helped build this case. Look at the red dots on the West End map. They represent people shot last year. Now look at the green dots over that. The green represents contact with the defendants.
You don't need a PhD in problem solving to figure out exactly where our problem is, exactly who our perpetrators are.
Whalen said there are similar investigations going on right now in other neighborhoods.
Removing the very small percentage of people engaged in violent activity is liberating to those families and to those neighborhoods.
Some could be removed for a very long time. These are the weapons taken in the investigation. If illegally possessed by a convicted felon, it could mean a life sentence.
If you carry guns illegally in the city of Cincinnati and you are a gang member, you are going to have the full faith and credit of the United States government to remove you from the community and end your terrorist ways.
You know, looking at that Pickens video, there was a lot more we can't let people hear, but he was just so, I'm a thug, nothing happens to me. And then when they arrested him, he had 10 guns pointed at him. Apparently he was pretty much a wuss when they brought him down. When they brought him down in this investigation, yeah.
It's interesting, too, to see this video because when I think of street gangs, I think of younger people. These are men, aren't they?
Yeah, this is not your, teenagers naming themselves after a street corner in a neighborhood. This is a network, a business venture, whatever you want to talk it, a criminal network, and they're not from the West End. That's just where they went to do their dirty deeds. Yeah. So we're going to keep track of this because it's a very complicated, interesting investigation and successful as well.
Deb, thanks very much.
Okay.
Well, as Deb just mentioned, the top members are not from the West End. It's important to note that's just where they did their business.